What is your definition of a big idea?
Big idea. That's a good one. So basically, it's like for me, it's like what arguments are there in the market? What main arguments are there? So I think somebody put it very very elegantly is that imagine like when you're writing copy, right? Your big idea is
So welcome back to the third episode of the podcast. So today here I have with me a YouTube grandmaster. He helped many of his clients scale to multiple seven figures in a record time. He's a genius at crafting high converting scripts for his clients. He's owns a digital agency, co-founder of Hyperfame. So welcome, Bryan. Please do a short introduction of yourself. What do you do? What kind of clients do you serve?
okay. Thanks, Dennis. So my name is Brian. Brian Am. I actually run an agency in Singapore, Hyperfame Digital. Mainly, we focus on YouTube ad scaling for clients around the space of 50 to 100K per month in the coaching, consulting, or course creator space. So what we do is we actually take whatever we have and the funnel that's working currently, create a very good script that's very, very, in a sense, interesting, edutainment, and actually very thought provoking, giving people a lot of insights about what you do compared to other like direct claim style of video ads, and actually get the right prospect, qualify the right prospect, and get into your webinar, your VSL, your application funnel, be whatever you're doing, and actually convert them using YouTube ads itself.
Nice. So you've been doing this for quite a while. Just wanna maybe you can share with me how, because you've been working with multiple clients,
Yeah.
and see a lot of their campaigns are really successful. So because for in the coaching industry or even pretty much every kind of product, a lot of them are just commodities, right? They're not the only product out there, or they're not the only coach out there. So how do you position such a commodity or such a service, such a product?
I think very honest. Everything is kind of different. It's just that I think Todd Brown once said this before is that so there are three types of like I would say big ideas or three types of differentiation, right? Which is like one is like what is your I would say fluff differentiation, meaning what framework you technically tell people, right? Meaning it's not very very real, but for example, like in marketing, like oh, you have a planning stage, you have a optimizing stage, you have a scaling stage. Everybody knows this, but you kind of rename everything into your own
Mhm.
name and kind of like say this is our thing, but it's exactly the same thing, right? That's one way, but I think that's the weakest way. Second way
Packaging.
is really the true mechanism, meaning like you really have something different from everybody else, and a thought process that you do. The reason why you do certain things, the reason why you do it like this, the reason why you do it different from your mentors, from the market is different. That is what we actually bring out from the client and really write it in words and actually increase the perceived value of the steps they actually do. So an example is that like I have Kairos, I have other people, I have even coaches, right? Everybody does affiliate marketing, everybody does Cairo. So how are you really, really different? So for example, it's like combine Visio together with Cairo, technically change something. If for affiliate marketing, I combine like I think yesterday I was in a mastermind, they were talking about AdSense, right? For affiliate marketing. And AdSense is basically Google.
Mhm.
You earn money from Google, and
Yeah.
say like you can earn 2K every day. I'm like, what the shit? But that's like a unique mechanism that actually nobody is talking about right now. So example is that imagine you can create like multiple streams of income with your affiliate business,
Mm.
right? So then he teach you like maybe multiple streams, and that's like a unique idea that actually nobody actually teaching, or like creating a very supplement business that is kind of unique in a different way, maybe print on like on demand and stuff like that.
Mm.
But you want to find actually a unique angle entering into the market, and the last part is really about the untold mechanism, which is actually things that are not said to the market. So examples that I think one untold that we never tell is that we do YouTube ads for like the past 1 year. So kind of when we say that out, people kind of come over, and that's like kind of how we actually want to actually position our clients, position our commodities as well. So another part of the process is actually creating an irresistible offer. A lot of times people think offer is basically a value stack. So I thought that at first in like last year in learning from like ClickFunnels and stuff like that, Steven Larson. So we kind of stack everything. It worked very well, to be honest, for
Mm.
commodities. But what we realized is after a while, we cannibalize ourselves, people start copying us, and
Mm.
It just doesn't work that way anymore, right? So what I realized, offers has three different things. One is like, what is the main angle or big idea that you're going for? Which is what is the angle you're entering in the market in. So for example, your stock trader entering is that you actually want to have less stocks and you actually can grow money. You actually have a proprietary system, or like forex is the best, whatever that case is, right? Second one is like your positioning in the market. So, however, you're an analyst, you're a doctor turned investor, you're all these positionings are very, very strong. So, being what your story and how can you utilize it for your framework, your story, and actually maximize the perceived value. So, if you're a doctor turned investor, why do you do that? And you only maybe invest in pharmaceutical slash medical companies because you understand the industry very well. And then you can position yourself as a medical expert, stock expert or something. And people buy in because it's your story. It's basically how you position and everything in place. And the last one is really your offer. Offer is really what's in it for them. A lot of people, if you don't have the first two, it's still okay if your offer is very, very strong. But a really good offer actually has all three in place and actually kind of like resonate with the audience as well. So like an offer basically is similar like a value stack, right? But end of goal is like, what results are they going to get? You don't want to state the features and the benefits. You want to state more of the benefit and end results that they will be able to get. Like what's a bold promise? What problems will they face and how does the thing solve them? How does it help them? How does it solve their objections? And this is usually how we position our whole I would say the whole clients that we have. And usually that's how we actually, when prospects come to us, that's how we actually tell them. And that's the reason why they are able to scale online itself.
That's how you mentioned about big idea. So I think there's a lot of definitions or different terms in found on the internet. Everyone's different definition of big ideas.
Yeah, that's a good one. So basically, it's like, for me, it's like what arguments are there in the market? What main arguments are there? So I think somebody put it very, very elegantly is that imagine like when you're writing copy, right? Your big idea is how you case your argument. So remember you are casing that this guy is not a murderer because of he has something, right? So that's your idea. And how do you supplement that idea is with like evidence and proof and story and whatnot. So that's like exactly how you will I explain it. So it's like, what is your case towards the market that they should buy your thing? Right. So you can have multiple cases in different angles, and multiple evidence or angles in that certain case as well. So there's a lot of ways to actually go about it. But in a nutshell, is that why should people buy from you? And what is your like I say, like your evidence for people to buy in a sense, why should they buy? So if you can actually build that case into your copy, into your speech, into your ads, into everything, basically, and if it works and the market believes in it, basically you have a winning product or a winning offer or whatnot, and you can actually just scale.
Yeah. So big idea is basically like your main message lah, or your main thing that you want to communicate, and then how you communicate is all the different arguments, all the different points in your copy, your video, etc. So there is a one main message lah that you try to communicate.
And so the main message, actually people always forget about it for some weird reason. Okay, but the main message must be different enough, yet simple enough to understand. I think Dan Ferrari, one of the creators, actually said this before. It's like, you want a big idea to be simplistic yet elegant as well, right? So what does that mean? Is that simplistic means able to understand, no, simplistic and relevance, right? Elegance and relevance. So you want to be simple enough to understand. That's what I mean by elegance. So for example, it's like, um, right now the easiest to understand, right, folks? You can say Facebook ads is like in a shopping mall, right? That's a very easy metaphor to understand. And unlike Facebook ads, you need click here, you CPC, CPM, CPR, then the people are like, what the hell is that, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make it a simplest way to actually people to understand immediately in one look. So immediately they read, they see the metaphor, they understand totally what you're saying. Second way is relevancy. So relevancy is increasing of the click-through rate. So for people who don't understand, it's just basically how relevant is it to their life situation right now, so that they will actually go and click on it. And example of relevancy is like news now. So very simple news is election, right? So if you're able to use election and stock at the same time, which a lot of people use, your click-through rate actually goes very, very high. But everybody using the same angle, right? So you want to spin it to something else. right? So you want to try to spin it different ideas so that it's not the same as everybody else that's doing it. So instead of saying like what's going to happen after election if Joe Biden actually get elected, what stocks are going to buy, blah blah blah. Example you can actually do is that like instead of saying like China, instead of saying Trump and Biden, you can even say like what will happen to China's stocks, 10 defining factors of why China's stocks will actually rise or fall because of this election itself. Right? So you change it up a bit to be more specific, or you change it up to be more like niche down. So you're kind of different from people as well. So for our tech stocks, why SP 500 tech stocks will actually rise after January 1st. Then people are like, what about January 1st? Then they think, or election, then I think then it's like very easy to kind of understand. So you want to actually do spin ideas of that one, like, so you got election, you got stocks, then you got your framework, then you kind of see like how do you combine these three things together to form like a better idea and a simple idea for people to understand. A lot of times a lot of copywriters think that the more complex it is, the better it is. And I don't believe in that. The more simple it is, actually the better it is. Because you might understand that audience sophistication level and who you're targeting. If you're targeting very, very sophisticated people, you want to use their language, not a complex understanding. Use their language. So use their jargon, use their what, so that you attract the right people. Right. So is this really how I would think in terms of how to do big idea? I really drill the client, talk to the client staff, talk to the salespeople, talk to the clients. If client's customer, if I can, actually get as much information out there as possible and try to find, I would say try to find a gap that I can enter the market through that is different from everybody else. Most of the time, you will be able to find as much as people think that you can't. So the core component is really about research. And as much as people
Hate research.
hate research, I think that's a fundamental component in everything. Research is not only like, hey, what is the market thinking, but why do people buy from you? What testimonials are they giving? And can you really like, is that really the reason why they buy? So like really understanding what's the true core desire of why they buy from you. And that's very, very easy to find if you really have like students, clients, customers. If you don't, then the next step is really find what a market wants. Yeah, and talk to as many people as possible. As much as like people who do marketing or copywriting or don't like to talk to people. I feel that that's like one of the key components. Like you need to be able to do sales to be also good in copy.
Yeah, it's like written sales lah. Technically written sales.
Yeah, but if you are good in like speaking, I don't need to be fantastic in it, but you are good in it in a certain way, you understand the principle. You don't need to hard sell, right? You understand how the persuasion works. You can use that in your sales to get it out what you want truly from people and actually do it in the same as writing as well. So like how I write is how I kind of speak. So it's like the kind of same thing. Like after a while becomes you. And I use it for like when I do my sales call or whatever presentation, and same as teaching people everything all over. Yeah. So that's how actually I go about thinking of a big idea as well.
Nice. So what I'm taking away from here is for big ideas, it has to be simple. It has to be visual. So visual meaning like instead of just how to invest in stocks versus like how stocks is just like eating ice cream, for example. Very, very visual. And
Yeah.
that is and with that visual, it communicates in just a few seconds, very
So
easily.
like how portfolio should not be like your salad that you buy from someone. Right? Then thinking like what the hell is that? Like say your portfolio shouldn't be as messy as your salad. It should be only one single like
Yeah.
easy to understand. Okay, then okay, fine. Yeah, but that's not very elegant. So it's not very simple to understand. So it's like
Yeah.
need some time to kind of like process.
Yeah. So I think the key element here is simple and easily communicated in just a few seconds. Right? And they immediately kind of buy into it. Nice. Okay. So what goes through your head when you plan out when you plan out is it a campaign? Either is it a video? Is it a full funnel? What exactly do you plan out?
Plan out. I think in a very different way. So like I'll plan out usually the strategy of acquiring a customer and whether the percentage of acquiring a customer is actually proven. Meaning like have they done it before? One time people ask me to do new stuff, I tend to advise But there's too many variables when actually doing a new thing. So okay, a lot of people want to do funnel, right? They always say one funnel away. Actually, that's not true. Because you are like many funnels away.
Yeah.
So basically, in a nutshell, is that why like your research is the first step. So you want to go and find like what angles you can go into the market and why people buy. So if you have enough patterns of research that actually are similar, you will know that there's a high chance of it working out in the market itself, be it in terms of your students that buy from you or in terms of like customers reviews slash comments on the internet about gurus, etc.
Mm.
So you want to see that aspects first. Be it any industry, you can actually do that. So interior design, beauty, blah blah blah, carols, everyone can do that. As long as you know the market enough, you know what they want. So put yourself in an empathetic position. Don't put yourself as the guru or the guy who can write very good copy. Just try to feel what people feel first. From there, that's a start. And second thing is really what is the way of acquiring a customer first before you write a big idea. So I will strategize. How do you want to acquire a customer? Is it through a low ticket funnel? Is it through a prepaid? Is it through a webinar funnel, a VSL appointment funnel? Is it through a long form copy appointment funnel? Which of it actually helps you and which of it have you had success before? Do you have success in sales call? Do you have success in webinars? Do you have success in selling low ticket and upselling them? So everything actually relies on sales. Um, the front end of marketing can only help so much, but your sales is one of the core components. So if your sales is not actually very good, actually the first thing I'll do is actually uh, get you appointments and actually get you to do sales. So that's a low hanging because you need to improve your stuff need to improve, or you need to hire somebody to do it. Once the sales is proven, actually I will actually identify what proportion of the sales data and objections that is in there and actually add into the marketing itself. Right. So for a brand new person, you won't have that data. So you just
Yeah.
write accordingly and pray that it will work.
Yeah.
But for like a experienced person or like a person that done a bit of sales call, I will be able to give me the information that I need to actually modify the landing page itself. So I'll actually see the data research and objections and just see where I can actually implement everything of them. And from there, actually, I go to the big idea, right? Then I'll think what big ideas easy for people to understand, easy for them to stand out and position them in the market, good enough that nobody can actually topple that position. Nobody can think of that position as well.
Mm.
The number is like I think 8i or VSC has celebrity,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's a very good positioning because it attracts the right people.
Yeah.
You realize it attracts the right people they want and
Parents.
bring them.
Parents.
Yeah, and kind
A
of give
lot.
them
Yeah.
uh, the the I think a very good branding as well. So like these are actually extremely good branding. But you want to do is also like how do you differentiate from that? Because you people can actually kind of like um, I would say pay another person to do the same thing, just another act. So you don't want that position to be toppled off, right? So if you're a celebrity maker, right? However, you only work with celebrities, then you need to actually really refine that angle, right? But because it's a mass marketing, you don't want to only rely on like the like branding. You want to rely more on also like your unique mechanism. So a lot of people say like stocks trading, right? So the next step after you get a big idea is what's the mechanism? Also like maybe why celebrity buy from you, or why people with like a huge CPF saving, but I don't know, like a specific
Mm.
audience, right? Or like specific why doctors buy from like learn from you. So then from there you create your unique mechanism in the way that is positioned differently from everybody in the market. So a lot of people like maybe stock trading, you do research as well. Then you see what portfolio, how much money you have, how you kind of diversify your portfolio, be it how you teach lah, or like how do you do analysis of stocks when you buy, when you sell, how to buy, how many, how much.
Mm.
All these are great, but like when you tell the people, it's like very very technical.
Mm.
Right? So you want to use like what I call like the big mechanism, right? Is more of like how do you group things together and how do you name it differently so and give metaphors for people to understand. So similarly, a lot of traders, a lot of financial agents, real estate people try to talk in jargons that I don't understand. Then why would I buy from them? I don't understand anything. You just right. So you want to
Mm.
make it as simplistic for people to understand, and in the same as the big idea. For example, is like I think a guy actually made like a cook your copy, right? I think you saw that.
Cook.
So it's basically a three-step process to actually write copy. First step is
Mm.
to find the ingredients. Second step is to prepare. Third step is to cook.
Mm.
Right. So find your ingredients. What it means is just basically find what templates you want to use. Second step is like, what is the big idea? What are you trying to sell? And third step is actually put everything together and run ads.
Yeah.
So that's a very simple way of saying it, right? So you want to actually do something like that to actually explain like analysis, right? Analysis is, or if you're targeting a very sophisticated market, you want to change the idea of analysis to something else that you own only. So be it you want to change it very simple to understand and also very in a sense you. So I'm gonna like if I okay, well with me, right? If I say I actually do preparation on diagnosis of the campaign, and I can use diagnosis because like I was a physio before, and I use that to my advantage. Saying like, so like diagnosis of a campaign is actually like a human body. Sometimes actually you think that one part of the body is actually giving you injured, and there is pain, but the main actually your core, your back, or something is actually affecting your knee, and you don't really identify that. So that's why we actually go through the whole process. We see where's the true core reason you're actually having this problem rather than just solving the symptoms alone. So by using that unique mechanism, I can own it. I can actually say it, and this is our planning stage. And people will feel like it's very different from other people. Might feel the same way, like, hey, I actually go and plan with you. I do strategize with you. But it feels different. It feels like more perceived value and it blends in with your positioning, blends in with your story and your ideas as well. Right. So that's how you want to actually create a unique mechanism. So that usually there's 3 step, 4 step, 5 step. There's a lot of ways to create. You want to create macro and micro. So macro meaning the big idea, micro meaning what you teach in class. Yeah. So because you don't want to show like, hey, macro, then you teach everything. I did that a lot of times. I teach macro. And in class I also teach macro. Then I got nothing to teach. Then like so why will people buy more from me? Why will people like want to learn more, right?
Yep.
So another step is a micro process where it's all about the technicals, all about the day-to-day action, all about the habits, all about the mindset, all about like what you need to do as an investor to get to the next level, what you need to do as a marketer, whatever to get to the next level. And that's what I mean by micro unique mechanism. So remember you have like the big idea is like the I say diagnosis, right? So what goes into the diagnosis so that we can actually decide very, very specifically what needs to do what. Right? And that's about micro, like hey, this A, B, then you go like decision making tree, like analysis, then like other things, right? Then that's how you actually create a very full-fledged program, full-fledged unique mechanism for your agency for any type of process as well. So anything you can actually kind of break down as well. And if you put it very simply, that is like after that we actually go on to the offer and make the offer, I'll say much, much, much enticing for people to buy. And then that's like the whole planning stage and like how I do the whole funnel and write it itself. So after that, I write topics that I want to write. Meaning I write like paragraphs. I don't write everything. I just write like what I want right here, what I want right here, what I want right here. So here maybe I take some objection. Here maybe I talk about unique mechanism. Here I talk about what. So I go through a flow, the same a framework, which is all about like pain, like problem, and like actually what's your mechanism, promise, and actually proof, etc., etc. Depending on the type of funnel that you sure want, right? Right. So when you do that, I don't write everything at one go. A lot of people try to write like from start and then just jam out everything. Right? I don't do that. You want to write part by part. So what I mean is that I usually write part by part a bit of what I think I on my ideas, like what I think should be there. Then after that, I try to expand on it. Uh, when I actually have better understanding of that thing. So it means I have like an inspiration. Okay, I expand more. Then I stop. Then at the last part is I copy edit until it makes sense. Right. So you want to do it in phases for me. And it really depends on the type of writer or type of thinker that you are. I won't say this is a one size fit all. So it's really how you think. Some people like to write everything first, then edit. Right. Some people like to just write one word and think until they really get the whole thing. I don't know. Right. But for me, it's like write out as outrageous as you can first. Then you edit to
Trim down.
trim down because a lot of times like if you're not compliant, blah blah blah. Like you write as non-compliant as possible first. Then you trim down. That's easier. Because if you don't do that, your imagination cannot go further than what your compliancy means. And that's like a detriment to like I think good copywriters because you will follow always a set framework, you follow always set language, and it's just very boring.
Yeah.
After a while, it's just like yawn, right?
Yeah.
So you want to actually go beyond first, then after that come back. It's easier to bring back. Yeah.
Nice. So what I've taken away is I think one thing that you said was your unique mechanism has to be uniquely you. So one example is let's say if I craft out with let's say a method, a ABC method, that literally has no meaning whatsoever, and just put it on my campaign, put it on my landing page, sales page, people are gonna feel is what the hell are you doing? So that method has to be unique to you lah, right? In the sense that how is this method different from the rest, and is this like actually a
Real matter.
actually different, yeah, actually method, or is it just a marketing fluff? So yeah, that's a cool thing that you pointed out. So I have a question for you, right? So recently, there is a lot of like marketing, a lot of campaigns that receive some form of hate, some form of skepticism. Like for example, the one Rishi posted, right? Why do you think this kind of things happen?
Why do I think this kind of thing happen? I think a few. I think for me it's about values lah. So right, I think something that I'm also working on in my company to actually I realized recently is that values is very very important. So example is that if you are a seminar company or webinar or like sell info products and coaching consulting space, why is the reason that Tony Robbins, Brandon Bouchard don't get flamed like
Yeah.
so much, and they don't even get viral in that sense, or they do lah. Like Tony Robbins kind of flamed before, but I mean, these kind of things will always happen because people are like, they're haters, they're what. But how do you combat it is like, I think like, how do you absorb it is one of the key components is through values itself. So the number is that if you say to everybody that you want to help people impact more lives, right? What other things that you're scaling? Like for example, I always say scale unscalable. What are you scaling? What unscalable things are you scaling that actually resonates with your values and people actually take notice on? And that's one of the uh, like if you're doing CSR, you're doing like just actually sponsoring people to just come to your class and actually helping them create their own fund, whatever it might be, right? These are things that you want to do, and I think like really values, right? Like I think Rash also does it very well. It's like in terms of religion, in terms of like how he helped younger kids, and that's like a form of value that you want to bring in, like family, what family means to you, and you really show it through your action. You don't like just say it and like bye, then like you go off, right? Then you like nobody know what the hell you're doing. So like same thing like when you're leading a team, right? Why do people actually want leave you? Why do people actually stay with you? Why do people follow you? Because what you do, what you say, what you actually lead them is actually key component. So if you want to be a leader in the market, you want to be like really want to change people's perspective, you must do things different from people. And you must do things that is, I would say, very tiring in a sense, but you must love it. And you really must stand for the values. Because once it's in line with your mission, your vision, and your values, it won't be a chore. It rather be something that you really believe in, you really want to help people in, and then people can see that, like how genuine you are. Like in marketing, right? Like I think Melvin So also mentioned before, it's like how you say different things is very, very important. Like, do you really mean it, or do you really like just say it for the sake of like selling
Mm.
people? And that is like what I feel as well. You want to be empathetic, you want to be genuine in what you say, what you do. And you always want to have like maybe coaches or whatnot behind you as maybe when you're doing this type of brands or this type of companies, because it's very, very tiring, it's very taxing, and it's always you're in constant grind mode, right? So you want to have people constantly reminding you of performance, reminding you of your values, reminding you of what you should do. You're always keeping you in line, keeping you in your
Mm.
mission and vision, right? And that's what I strongly believe in, is that if you're a coach, consultant or whatnot, you should have a coach or consultant to actually keep you in line as well, so
Mm.
that you are constantly driving through your true mission and vision, rather than being only for the sake of money or for other thing or ego or whatnot, right? And that's what I truly believe in. So in that case, like you still can't stop like haters from doing anything, but by doing these type of things, the public opinion will soften on you,
Mm.
and you actually stand for something, right? If you don't stand for anything, basically people can make you stand for anything, like in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's one core component that I feel is very crucial lah, especially now in the online day and age. Like if you don't meet your client, even don't meet your students, I think it's something that people have always in their mind. So what are you doing? Are you really selling me no money? Blah blah blah.
Mm.
That's like very, very bad. So like for me, like COVID was a bad period because I never meet a lot of my staff physically. And so you want to actually, how do you do that? You want to check in with people. You want to do the things that really unscalable. And what do you do when you do that? Like you scale an unscalable fan. An unscalable fan, like the fan that is so like in love with your brand, in love with
Mm.
you. will actually help you spread that word of mouth. And then you'll continually build that community that's actually bigger than anything that actually comes your way. And that's how you actually really scale like past a certain, I would say, number figure in terms of number of students and impact really, really more people like as a business. Because it's impossible to keep running paid ads and hoping that you'll be profitable. Because CPM will rise, the number of people who buy from you will dwindle, and you reach a point where you need the people around you to get you more people. And that's like, if people are raving about you, they say, okay, I just take a look, right? Right? But if compared to people are complaining about you, then like they'll take a look as well, but like it's like a different frame of mind. Then selling becomes very difficult. Then advertising becomes then difficult. Everything becomes very difficult. And then you must keep going like, what's the best tactic today? What's the best low cost traffic? What's the best sales tactic? Then it's like you're consistently doing tactics. But you want to do strategy based things, which is building like really a true community, how to really resonate and show their values and mission. And the biggest companies in the world actually does that, if you realize. You want to follow in their footsteps. How do you go about following them? How do you go about building your values? How do you build $1 trillion company? Whatever, right? Like and that's when I realized that business is not easy. It's really not easy. But I think like Stoicism say, right, the obstacle is really the way. Sometimes you solve a problem, actually you help yourself create many new avenues, many new opportunities. And that's like one of the core components. And I think the story for that is that when I was studying entrepreneurship, I don't have any people to talk to right now. Like right 2 years ago, right? So it's like all you need to do is to go out there, get to know more people, and then you see opportunities opening up already. Even if opportunity is not in your favor, at least there are people knowing about you. Then slowly you'll get the right opportunities as well. Then you solve a problem in a sense. And then you get partners, blah, 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 blah. So it's really like, for me, I believe like the obstacle is really the way. So if you're already having like, if anybody's like, any company's having haters, how do you absorb it? Like I think Gary Vee does a very, very good thing. You literally scale the unscalable by actually replying to you, talking to you, getting a Zoom call with you. Like, why would he do that? Waste his time. He's 100 million, maybe advertising agency, right?
Yeah.
Why the hell would he do that? But think about it. If after I convert you to a raving fan, what do you do?
Buyer.
I don't think he will buy anything. Gary Vee may buy books, but like for Gary Vee, point is like you keep shouting out about him for no reason. Because you feel that he's a genuine person, he's authentic. He actually pay attention to you and come down and talk to you. So that's what I mean by like the Taylor Swift like method, which is really like Taylor Swift sings for birthday parties of people or fans, and she technically scale all the unscalable. Why would she sing for a birthday party? Like very random. But then when you do that, it goes viral. Then it just like builds that community around you.
So
And
it's
it's like very, very difficult.
So it's like basically building a relationship with your prospect, leads, customers, not just everything, automated emails, automated SMS. There's a lot of also like personal touch. Right?
Yeah, a lot of personal touch. Like be human. Basically, like as much as like you are like, have 1,000 over students, it's very, very hard to do that. But like just writing a letter, giving them personalized things, going on like a Zoom call if they're in a difficult position. These are things that actually like I think if you make time for it, you will actually help your business scale very, very fast. Because if people don't realize this, but people think like, hey, spend more money on ads, build a lifetime value. I think all these are great, and these are what fundamental foundation of a business is. But then the human factor is missing, right? And in companies as well, you leading a group of humans, your team is yeah. So it's like same as customer. If you lead your team well, your team will actually help your customers well. Yeah, but then also you want to show your team what you mean by the values that you uphold. And then they will do the actions that you do. So the number is that you say, we are for the community. But everything you tell your team is you need to hit target, you need to hit sales commission, you need to hit this. How would they feel? You get what I mean? It's like a bit like I won't say like it's like a bit like unbalanced. Then as a guy, like if I'm in that kind of company, I feel like you're not really for community, you're only for money.
Yeah.
You're asking me to hit my KPI. Right? So you want to reward actions that are certain ways. Like for example, like if my team gets the really identify big ideas that are very, very interesting. Then I say, hey, this is very, very good idea. You can share with the whole team how you actually get that. And I want to build like their confidence as well. Because I feel that we train things from zero. The second thing is that if I'm talking about CSR, talking about like how I should help the community, I should do myself first before I get the team to do. You can't say, hey, like company want to do, then everybody do together. It's like very like But if
Yeah.
I'm doing it, I influence with my actions, and that's like one of the core component I really believe in. Is everything you say is just purely saying, and people don't really believe it until you do it without people looking at you. Yeah,
I
and
see.
that's one like very very strong point. Like a lot of like I think like the best CEOs actually do this, and they live by their values, and they really show it. Even if it's not like show, but it's like they do it, and people like kind of saw that doing it happening, then they kind of
Mm.
report it. Then the team kind of see it and actually kind of value that as well. So example is like also like if you want to build a safe space for employees, you want to give autonomy, you want to actually talk to them one on one and be as empathetic and listen to them rather than shooting them down, right? So that's what I learned as well. And last time I very like angsty and like want
I know
to,
hit KPI.
yeah, no, why hit KPI? I want to go faster, right? Then I like very annoying. Then I do things
Yeah.
myself. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of like shifted away from that like recently. After
Mm.
going through all the coaching and stuff, like it's because I realized I cannot rely on myself. I cannot. I need my team to grow as well. I need them to understand. I need them to see it both my way, and I need to see it their way as well. Right. So, however, they want to earn more money. They want to actually learn more. They want to do what I try my best to support them. I listen to them. Any problems, I wouldn't say like, hey, go solve it yourself. Say, what can I do? How can I solve it together with you?
Mm.
Right. And that builds like a bond between the team and me, and like all the other bosses as well, and with the clients as well. So they want to do as much for the client. Yeah. And I always, for me, like for agency wise, you protect your team first. You don't,
Mm.
as much as a client, you want to, sometimes clients are just like anal about things, right? Then you try to set absorb it, then you protect your team. Don't like because your client says something, then you like put
Yeah.
all your team. I think that's very very bad for me.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I
This
think
is like a nutshell.
nice. Oh, that's very deep. Recently I was watching this Becker video. He talks about Becker video. He talks about really good shit. He talks about um having company values as a north star. So I'm not sure if you watched this video, but it talks about if you have a solid, very clear value of in a company, right? Your team members automatically know what to do. So one example is um, let's say I can have one value.
Mm,
Aiming big is small. Aim bigger. One example.
yeah,
So this is like one uh value that each team member will have, because when they adopt this value, whatever they do, they'll see that, okay, what we're aiming for is actually, although we think it's big, but we can aim bigger, we can always do better. So that's like one value that another person and a team can adopt. I think another way is, let's say, customer satisfactory is
king.
like, no, customer satisfactory is not it's not satisfactory. They must be happy, or they must be extremely excited.
Okay.
So it's like this will, let's say, if let's say your team member is dealing with a customer support, or a client facing role, and if the customer is just, oh, okay, cool, then that means the team member hasn't done enough. The team member knows when it's done enough when the client is damn excited for the results. So there's like one, like a north star that a team can always rely on, can always look back. Are we doing things the right way? And I think it's also, he talks about, it's important to, yes, you have these values, but it's important to reward them
Yeah,
when they make the right,
the
when
right
they do
values. Yeah.
the right, yeah. So it's, I have a very, very small team. I already feel that, I don't know what it's
You
like
need
for you,
to
bro.
you need to create now. If not, you will get chaos next time.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely.
I think uh smaller team is easier because like your bond is much better. But values wise, like I said before, so even though you can say what you want a company is, like if the CEO, founders, directors don't do it as well, then everything is hypocritical. And
Mm,
the person will feel that I shouldn't do it as well. You're not doing it.
mm,
Yeah. So then therefore you must always watch like what you do and what you say, and what you really value in. So like that's like as a founder, as well. Even the public is watching your internal team actually knows what you're doing. Right. So that's why like most of the time, if my team actually says that if they don't want to take a client, I will not take.
wow, they really
No,
worship
because
you.
no, like because like sometimes I also like have that I on the fence, but money then like
Okay.
They're like, they're like, and then every time I take, always them jialat, but very bad lah. So that's why we actually, I will kind of consult them as well. Like, do you think it's viable? Like, what do you mean?
Consult your team.
Yeah, if I'm on a fence, I like kind of consult my team. But if okay, I think we can go for it because I value like the values of the clients I work with as well. Because like if they offhand very like snappy at me or very like sarcastic at me, then
Yeah.
but or they offhand they like keep asking for more things, they need to like kind of frame them better lah. But I think if I feel not comfortable helping him get more clients, I need to ask myself why.
Mm.
Yeah, then that's like a red flag for me because like it means that either they're doing it for the money or like something else lah. So I don't really like I mean money is important, but it's just like one value I don't want to repeat again. Like you get me?
Mm.
Yeah. I want to
Nice.
actually help more ethical like or like uh, with direct response that's ethical as well. Or like you in son you portfolio 100% next year. That
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So okay, let's talk about back to marketing and coffee.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the main reason that may cause a campaign to fail? So like for example a webinar campaign, a webinar funnel, like what do you think is the biggest element that may cause this whole campaign to flop? Is it the
Never,
webinar? Is it the leads? What is it?
never the traffic, always the offer and messaging. Right? Never the traffic. Traffic is easy to get. You can
Yeah.
just stand anywhere. But what is the right traffic is determined on your messaging.
Mm.
And who are you targeting, right? And then what is the right offer is also determined on that. So it's always about messaging and offer and how you position yourself. Um, it is webinars usually are for mass market type of B2C consumers. So it means you're targeting like every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the market. Usually it fails, it's basically only your messaging and offer.
Mm.
If you're doing a high ticket funnel, most of the time it's mainly your messaging and your sales. Right. So depending on where is the problem, right? So for example, right now leads to webinar is high, leads to the VSL is high, opt-in is high. Then the problem is VSL to sales, VS webinar to closing. And there is your sales. Your sales also got messaging. Your sales also got offer.
Yeah.
So you want to identify it in that aspect. And how do you be congruent in that aspect? So you want to see step by step, where are you currently having bottlenecks in? So you go through the whole process. Is it targeting the wrong customer? No. Is it your opt-in page not congruent with the VSL and that's why getting very low? What? No. Is it your VSL not converting people to book a call? Yes or no? Then is it on a sales call you're not getting able to close at least 30%? Yes or no? Right. So you want to use industry standards first until you understand your industry more enough, or use your average of the past year alone to actually kind of create that itself. Um, Marketing is all about data. So when things fail, there's always a reason why.
Yeah.
It's all about identifying the reason why. So a lot of people try to say like, I would say like, I think somebody said this like when marketing, when you send leads to people, then the salespeople cannot close. The salespeople blame marketing, and the
Mm-mm.
marketer blames the salespeople, right? That's very true. But what you want to see is go how to diagnose what is the true problem. A lot of people say like, hey, the sales not good, right? So my diagnosis even for local business is that why aren't you able to set appointments? The person ignore me. I say, if the person ignore you, have you follow up? No, I do one time. Then that's a problem. That's not it's not a leads problem. It's like people are busy. So maybe if you follow up 3 times, you have a process as a system. You have maybe 60% more people replying to you.
Mm.
Just by doing that small tweak, you actually get people replying to you. So why aren't you doing it? They can't answer because maybe they don't know. Maybe they think that hey, the leads come in must be 100% replying, but that's not possible in a real life
Yeah.
business. You think like how it's not possible. Like even like the big brands also like take like a few calls,
Yeah.
yeah, and all these kind of things. Then the second thing is like a lot of people like webinars, right, will think, hey, just call at least one time, message one time, they follow up, 30-50% of call, then you forget about the rest, then keep sending an email. You want to maximize the output. Send them email, send them SMS, send them give them a call, tell them what's the next webinar. Consistently do that until they say bye bye.
Mm.
Right? So that's how you maximize things. Like then a lot of people say like, hey, but I only do X. Then how to make 3? A simple thing is hire a VA. hire a PA, go and do all that systems process. Maybe you can get 3. Sending a like what you taught me is that sending a retargeting email, sending a retargeting maybe a sales letter, or even sending for me I send an SMS, I immediately get 3 or 4 sales.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you do to actually like kind of like funnel down even more in a efficient process rather than like how can I get cheaper traffic? How can I get a lot of people think like the biggest win is just getting cheaper traffic, but that's actually the hardest win.
Yeah.
The easiest win is how do you maximize your process. So like, what's the problem and how do you maximize the process? Cannot be like the funnel fail, then means your marketing sucks. It's true to a certain extent. Like your marketing kind of sucks because you don't understand the audience. But it's not necessarily the marketer's fault nor the salesperson's fault, but rather we don't understand the audience together. And that's where we should come in and say, hey, how do we do it? Like, how do we solve this problem? And the best business people actually that I work with, clients that I work with, always solve problem with me and actually get to very, very good results. They say, hey, how do you make this happen? You need anything, I help you. And I'm like, oh, this guy. Yeah, like, okay, let's do it, man. Like, it made me feel better. It made me like, we want to actually like, kind of like really solve problems together with you. But if you keep like, kind of like, as an agency, like, we feel that if you keep like kind of saying like, hey, marketing is a problem, I'll be very, very, in a sense, very annoyed because like, usually it's not a marketing problem, it's usually an offer or messaging problem. And I know that, and I actually want to go and find that with you. But if you are insistent on your messaging, I cannot change anything. And that's one of the core components that actually affect the campaign. The people who actually in business is always about transformation and change, right? It's never one thing. There's no such thing as, I wish there is, but there's no such thing as one everlasting messaging, ad, or offer. You do one year, you might die off the next year.
Yeah.
And that's very simple. If you think about how many offers in marketing in, I say, Singapore has come out and died in the past year alone. You have seen many trainers come out, many trainers dying, successful. 1 year later, cannot scale. Why? Because they don't have like the fundamentals of messaging and marketing, and they don't understand the audience enough to actually be empathetic to create solutions related to the market. Rather than it, they only think about what they can do. They don't grow, then you basically die. Yeah, same for us. It's like, what about copywriting? I think I was fairly good last year, or even at the start of the year. But when I saw people that are tremendously much better in terms of like affiliate marketing, like e-commerce and everything, I'm like, wow, yeah, I want my team to actually grow better as well. So I go and learn. Growth is one of the values that I really hold, and solving problems, meaning having diagnosis. And I'm able to actually, that's why I'm able to diagnose the thing before my team even tell me, just by looking at the data, because of experience. And because I look through patterns. And that's how I teach my team to actually diagnose problems as well. So they're able to actually tell me now before I even tell them, which is like a win for me. And growth is um, a value that I hold as well. So in a sense where when a campaign fails, don't panic. Look at the solid data and understand why. Ask people why they buy, ask people why they don't buy. You must let go of your ego and actually do that. If you can't, the campaign will not move to a higher standard. So like I try not to ask the clients, I try to ask like the clients, are they able to get to their student and talk to them? Because if I do it, there's no like relationship as well.
A bit weird.
A
Like,
bit
who is
weird.
this
Also,
guy?
hey, why you never buy? Hey, then I need to build a lot of rapport. I need to be a very good salesperson to do that. But I don't have like enough time to like maybe call 100 clients. But something that they should take ownership upon, and that's why I tell my clients, if it's not working, you need to really go and understand why. Then we can work together to see how we can actually tweak the campaigns much better. Because it's their business and they need to hold autonomy. If I hold autonomy, I realize most of the time, if I'm more excited than them, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really, that's a problem. I try, because like a lot of times then I become the one driving the business, and that's not good. Because like it's not my business. I don't have equity in it. I don't have like anything in it, right? And what I think might not be what a client wants, and I don't train people, so I also don't know exactly. I don't have full empathy of what exactly is needed. So everything is I do is based on assumptions in the marketplace, but rather not assumptions, not like true data from the audience. So that's why like coaches and consultants really need to really really talk to people more and really understand. Even their team also need to understand. And then that is like a way to really scale. If you're a really empathetic person or salesperson or even like a coach, it's very, very easy to go up, because like you tweak accordingly to the market as well. It's just a simple like tweak. It's not sometimes it's not like drastic like you turn at
Yeah.
360. It's just like a small turn here and there, then you reach your end point.
Mm.
And that's really how you should tweak your campaign, tweak everything. Then people might think that. So I think the next question is, if you are winning campaign, what do you do when it dies? That's a scaling problem.
Mm.
Do you redo everything from scratch, or do you what do you do lah, basically? How do you go higher? There are two things I do. One is look at acquisition strategies and look at the market. Is it a growing market or is it a dwindling market? Then you reposition. Then second thing is the funnel acquisition model. Are you only using a webinar funnel, but you're spending six figure every single month? Then if that is the case, you have reached everybody that's reachable and close everybody that's closable in maybe a matter of 2-3 years. Then what do you do next? So you want to plan contingency plans. You want to plan like create a mini course offer, create a lead magnet, create an indoctrination process, create content. And that's really how you scale in the scaling phase. Right. Even though I'm a marketing performance-based agency, I still don't ask people to only do one thing because I don't think that is feasible. As a business, you need to diversify. Second thing is that is your messaging is it because your messaging actually is saturated?
Mm.
Have you tried other forms of messaging in the same big idea? Right. So then you want to try test more things until it really, really don't work. Then also plan in ahead. That's really how you actually revive or actually pivot your losing campaign now. Like winning to lose,
Mm.
like winning become dying campaign. Yeah. Rather than doing everything from scratch, you want to think of it in that way. What's the lowest hanging fruit you can do right now? Do it, then plan for the future.
Wow.
Yeah. Then you
Cool.
actually get back your stuff. That's the reason why our campaign actually lasts 6 months without me touching it. Can I just tweak like run other audience? Can okay, just run the other audience. Can I just run multiple videos to this and run retargeting? Can okay, just run. Can I just I always think like what's the easiest thing I can do first before I
Mm.
embark on the harder things to buy myself more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then like even like can I upsell more? Like you don't want to be what single like as an agency, I don't want to be singularly dependent on just purely YouTube or Facebook. Like
Yeah.
I'm very good at YouTube or Facebook. But my client not earning money, sometimes not determined on how good my media buying skill is. Sometimes determined on how much their lifetime value is, how much their acquisition strategies are, how much is all these things. And you want to be able to be a strategist to actually help them in that. Right. So
Mm.
offer is like, can you position your offers at the back end to increase your revenue per head in the class? Can you have a way to actually CSR or like make a box of like goodies to send to them before the class to actually increase retention rate of the whatever thing. So you want to track
Mm.
all of these and maximize the lifetime value of it. And I
Mm.
give advice to my clients like this. I don't give like, hey, we should do this marketing only. I give like the whole holistic business scaling
Yeah.
thing rather than, hey, marketing should do this, marketing do that. Then I just keep quiet, right? So you want to do in that aspect because when you can do that, your marketing actually triples or even double, like from the same thing.
Mm.
The results actually double or triple
Mm.
without
Because
you
the ads,
doing anything.
because ads the one that is it's just multiplying what you have.
Yeah,
Because once your base is like it keeps increasing, your ads kind of multiply the whole thing.
yeah,
That's why that performance also improves lah.
yeah. And you want to create a system around it. And that's like I think where we come in different a lot of times, so that kind of stand out. I don't do this for every client because sometimes they have their own thinking. If they're actually wanting to like work with us on a partnership level, then that's what we do for our clients. And most of the time, from we start off like normal agency, then we move to a partnership after we like kind of like date for a while in a sense,
Mm.
see whether we're a good fit to work very long term with each other. Yeah. So that's
Mm.
my thinking on how the whole process. And how I think as like I'll say a marketer, copywriter, or like a CMO and stuff like that.
Nice. I love how you don't just uh look at scaling just on ads. There's like ton of more things that can be done to really scale the whole business. So one thing that actually you mentioned earlier on, I think 5-10 minutes ago
Mm,
or 15, you mentioned that coaches a lot of coaches they fail probably within the first year, right? And I want to share this learning point that I learned from you. What I realized is that if like the reason why, okay, maybe that first year they had their first hit, maybe it's by luck. I hit I write some random copy, bam, hits the market, and then I can make 6 figures easy. Then there comes the problem when everyone is just copying your marketing message. Everyone's kind of saying the same thing, and right now, oh shit, you don't know what to do because your previous stuff. So I think it's important to really understand. For a sustainable business, you have to understand the fundamentals lah, so that when things change, you always go back to your fundamental. Okay, is this hit? Is this met? Then you can tweak from there. Another thing that I like about how you approach the whole funnel and campaign is that you also see the webinar as also part of like the marketing, the messaging. So I think like 1 2 years back, I always saw getting leads as just or getting customers to the webinar funnel is just basically like, okay, let's make as big as claims as possible on the front end, whack a lot of leads, then the webinar is the speaker stuff, it's the speaker's problem. And I realized that from you is no, the messaging has to be congruent. It has to be clear, it has to flow very smoothly, because at the front end you can get like 1,000 leads, but the messaging on the webinar is completely different, then they also won't buy. So
Yeah.
curious, how do you plan out, say, the webinar? Is there any particular template, any system that you follow to guide your clients, coaches, webinars?
Mm, depends on the market they're targeting. So I think the easiest way to actually put it is there's a 3-step lah. Everybody use the 3 secrets, right? But what exactly goes to 3 secrets? Why exactly people think like that? Why what you write inside is that crucial. So in terms of copywriting, what I realized is that a lot of a lot of coaches say that, hey, this is the amount of money in the market, blah blah blah, you can earn this, right?
Yeah.
So I think I shared this before, is that how people don't understand how much money they can earn if they're in a bad place as well, or they are not there. But you want to show them the opportunity that is big enough that everybody can have a piece of the pie. That's the first step that you need to do. A lot of people don't do that.
Mm.
They just say how good e-commerce is, how good stock trading is, how good what is. Then like, how good is it? Yeah, my student earn money, okay, but like, how big is the market? Is it a growing market? Is it like dwindling? And the people have these problems, objections in their head, right? So, for example, I heard somebody, a very good copywriter, actually wrote on a webinar is that um, the interior design industry in the US actually has reached don't know how many billions or how many millions, right? And then that is equivalent to half of the US national treasury.
Mm.
Is how much people are spending every single year on interior designs in the US. Imagine if you can have a piece of the pie, blah blah blah. Then you like kind of paint the future for them, right? So that's like the first part that you should do in terms of painting the future. So I'll actually go and see is the guy just like bragging, or the guy like trying to be empathetic? So that's the first thing I see. Second thing is I see process in terms of like your mechanism. So it's really on a how and then a what, right? So how are you different? How is your mechanism actually better than other people? Then really talked about it in a way. And a lot of people actually does wrong in that how is really about teaching more than actually showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say like you shouldn't teach a lot, right? I do agree, but nobody teach you how to show more.
Yeah.
Then I realized I came to this after consulting like a very big client of mine. Every single day I consult. Then I say how to show, how to show. Then he asked me how. Then like and he keep giving examples of the bat, right? So like for example, he's doing an e-commerce agency. Then he said like how do I show lifetime value? How do I show that they should be focusing on lifetime value? Like
Mm.
even if you listen to this podcast, right, and I said why you should do it, but not I don't tell you the exact, like I don't show you exactly why you should do it. I'm just telling you why. Right.
Mm.
So very good reason on why you should focus on lifetime value is, imagine Apple. Apple's a $1 trillion company. How many phones have you bought from, if you're an Apple fan? Have you bought for the past maybe 5, 10 years ago? Maybe five. So how much do you think that the lifetime value of you to Apple is worth?
Mm.
So why do you think they're $1 trillion industry? So I immediately route back. I show them the example of why, but I make them get the insight rather than me telling them, hey, you should do lifetime value because the logic like this, then blah 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 blah. Then like people are like, oh okay. But when I tell them like that, they say, wow, I really need to follow Apple's example. I need to increase my lifetime value and actually listen to like Bryan or Thaddeus or whatever that is actually pitching the webinar, and really do this like for my business right now. There's a different insight and different frame of mind when they go in, but they have learned something without me saying anything.
Yeah.
And that's like a art and skill of like I would say webinar and coaching. A lot of people tell, a lot of people don't show. Right? That's when you actually show like your unique mechanism in a way that is easy to understand, and people actually get the insight very, very simply. And if you can do that very, very well, basically, people will keep buying your stuff because you give them like a lot of autonomy, you give them a lot of insights. A lot of people say like this is unethical or whatnot, but rather that actually this is the way, like I think Melvin also say, like don't do pseudo transformation, do like full transformation. And don't sell like follow-up problems. Don't be like the person who like try to sell like that, then like that, like that. Don't be like that. Sell everything. But rather, what do you sell on the back end as coaching is really on, like I say, the micro stuff, the habits. What should you do? The mindset going in, all these things are more important. Because success is based on that, not based on like the things that they learn on application, implementation. Yeah. So after you go through the unique mechanism, the last part is really like going through objections and maybe what about a unique mechanism a bit different, or maybe go through a single process more in depth to show them that they can do it. Like give them a teaser to what you actually can do, in a nutshell, or like maybe go through your like for you go to stock analysis, then teach them how they go through stock analysis through a case study. But when I always do it through a case study, I never do it through like live. What I did wrong last time when I try to sell my course is I always do it live with people. Even though they show my expertise, I never build the perceived value of why is it good. People just take and don't use. Right? I'm not sure whether you feel the same when I do with prospects. I give them everything. I really should give them like this is the message you should do, the big idea. Like in 1 hour conversation, I get that out. Then they're like, oh okay. Then they say I think about it. Then I say, right? Then you raise it. But how do you build that is through examples, case studies, and that's what I learned this year is that like for example, if you like for example you want to analyze a stock and you want to show that why maybe Tesla made very, very good results you want back test, right? Why Tesla made so much results in this. You need to go back all the way to the front part when you actually show that you students that you should buy Tesla because of this, and that. Then you actually break down each singular point, how you actually go about finding it. But what that builds is actually builds your authority, your credibility, and proof, and everything at one go. And show that you are legit, show that your process actually follows a process. And it's not like, hey, last time I buy Tesla due to luck. But you have a process that you tell them people before and really it hits. And then you can show like it not 100%. It's like maybe 80% of my calls actually I hit. So you want to show them like the other side of things also as well. So that you will become different, that you don't claim too much. So become very genuine, become very authentic. And then lastly is you actually close with objections, handle objections and close with your offer. So I think Melvin taught me something in terms of getting a deposit. And that's something I feel very strongly to use. Because my clients use it and he actually can close like 2-3K on webinar. So I think it's very, very viable. But it depends on the industry and the market and the country they're going to. Country is crucial. If you go to a third world country, I would say most likely they will not pay in the end. So don't have
Pay
your
deposit, but they cannot pay the remaining.
correct. And it's going to be a headache to chase money because you're not even there. Right. So depends on the country. Like maybe tier 1 Singapore, US, Australia, stuff like that, I think should be fine. But maybe tier 2, tier 3 countries, you need to be careful. But rather just create an offer that's actually more suitable for them. And offer people really don't. How do you increase the perceived value of offer is I think a crucial part. You need to amplify the perceived value. You cannot say like I do a 3-day class. I give you this as software. And that's what you get. Last time, now it's like 10K, now it's like 697. This is what you get. It's like, okay.
Russell Brunson style.
No, but they don't go in depth in the micro of the persuasion. So like, why is a 3-day class so important? And why is my time so valuable? You need to explain that. Why is this bonus valuable to you? Because like, if you don't have this, you make mistakes up to $1 million and I don't want you to happen to have that. And when you say things like that, you see how people change. The bonus actually become much more valuable. So you want to say the benefits or an end result. So if people usually just say the like features, oh, this will help you see stocks, then I can buy, and blah, blah, blah. Then like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is how my students actually identify 80% of their win rate. So this is something that actually I developed and over the course of 5 years to actually help students like to actually have a higher success rate. And that's the reason why my students, those who actually act upon, actually have 50% of them actually get a lot of results. So those that other 50%, they actually don't follow the system. They actually do emotion. And that's why this system is so important. You want to follow this system. Right? So when I say that increases perceived value, increases the benefit, increases the end result. Yeah. So then that's how you actually craft your offer in itself. I don't really do it for people anymore because when you do a webinar, when you craft a webinar for people, they don't follow anyways and they don't understand the audience. And even though you charge like 30K, 50K for a webinar, it doesn't work. Like, because you need to be very good in speaking. There are a lot of tangible value variables. So like what I realized is maybe a VSL to a high ticket works better because you have a lot of room to play in terms of your money. As long as you're saying 10K, you got basically 10K to get one client. How wrong can you get?
Yeah.
Even your messaging, how wrong, right? At least, unless it's all over the place, your messaging will at least get 2 or 3 clients for you if you're actually okay in the sales call. So that's how you actually should start off, in my opinion, as a coach. You shouldn't start off as a webinar selling mass market. You should start off always high ticket. Yeah. Start from there so then you can build your repertoire, can focus on clients to get results, and then slowly build like a mass market thing. And after that, build like a more mass market thing. You should top down, not rather than up, down, up. So I think like Joe Away kind of says this in his mini webinar and how offer stuff. So if you guys, I would say like you can look into him. I think he has a very good framework and is a very applicable framework that everybody can use in any niche. Yeah.
Nice. I like the part where you mentioned that you have to increase the perceived value first before you actually show the offer. So I the other day I was telling my one of my client about this lah is you have to sell before you sell. So it's like you sell the thing first, and they like it already. They see okay, this is like worth like 300K, and bam, this is $300 only. So it's like I think the example I gave them is scenario one. I'm selling you a shoe, right? So I can just tell you that hey, this shoe is $100. Do you want to buy it? Nobody buy it. And then the second scenario is I tell you okay, this shoe is used by LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. It's said that if you wear this shoe, you're able to jump
And
2 times higher, 3 times you run 3 times faster. There were people who will try to rob the bank to pay for this shoe because it's so expensive. And right now, for only a limited time, this shoe is available to you at only $100. It's
yeah.
like you sell the thing before you sell it. So that is super super true, and I think that is crucial before you make any offer or you present any price to a consumer. And then one thing that you also mentioned was I think it sounds very 贱. 贱 means like you know 贱 right?
Yeah.
It's like asking them questions, like yes no questions to make them like solution aware or make them agree with kind of what you said. So I think one example is like what you mentioned earlier. Like with this, do you think it's easy for you to make money? Then yes or no? Then most likely they'll say yes. And I think when they say yes, it's like inside you already. It's like oh shit, that's it. Like because they already believe it once they voice it out, once
Yeah.
they say yes. And I think that part is like kind of like in a sales jargon, it's like the trial close lah. Once they say yes a few times,
Yeah.
believe it, then ultimately, yeah.
I think you can use it a bit differently because a lot of people don't like the word yes no question like for coaches, right? It becomes very, very saturated. So you don't want to use yes no only, you want to use thought provoking questions.
What do
Yeah.
you think will happen if something like that?
No, like example is that so okay, so you must lead. You cannot just like yes no, right? So the leading is not you get a yes no answer. The leading is leading them how they think in their mind.
Mm.
So example, my first question is that how many of you think like stock trading is hard? And maybe like a lot say yes, very, very hard. So what if actually what do you think like maybe the Wall Street traders or like traders actually have that you don't?
Mm.
And after that I say, oh, they maybe have a system analysis that actually have, right? So what if I actually can show you a way that you can actually trade like them with a system and a software that actually can replicate how they do? Will you guys be interested like in that? Or like do you think that if you actually can trade like them, can you earn a lot of money? So you want to lead them on exactly how they think, not ask yes no questions to actually prove your point, but you want to lead them in the insight that they give. Say actually, yeah, if I can trade like them, even though I have a small portfolio,
Mm.
or like like be your argument, right? You can actually get to the end results that they will believe in your premise, believe in your argument, and want to buy from you. So that's what I actually
Wow.
do. Yeah. So you want to lead, like it's a sales process. You want to lead them as well. For example, like people come to me for YouTube ads. I don't say, great, this is how much we do this result for our clients. You want to buy? Then nobody will buy. So it's like, oh, what's your problem? I do YouTube ads, doesn't keep failing, blah blah blah. I do Facebook ads, keep banning. Oh great, then YouTube ads is this doesn't right. Wouldn't it be great if you have stable way of actually scaling? So yeah. So then YouTube is a really great way. Then for my client, I use case studies to like kind of explain that. Yeah. So it's a bit different, but on a webinar one to many, you need to use a lot of questioning, a lot of leading, and a lot of insights as well. You need to give people insights. People don't buy because they don't have insights. That's one thing I learned. A lot of people say like people don't buy because of offer not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But for me, it's like people don't buy because your offer is the same as everybody else. They don't have any new insights. They think like I can just learn on YouTube, and that's very bad. Like from e-com, I just tell them, oh, you can just start a Shopify store, run ads to this. This is the product research template, and then you are done. Then like people are like, what the fuck? Like they won't buy. But how do you give them insight? Say like maybe product research actually is not as easy as you think. But rather you need to call these core components, and then you can say like what you need is actually not like it's very easy. Like you need like kind of teach them how it's like very easy for you to go and find product. But every time, 90% of my students fail because they anyhow just take a product, write some random copy and just put it up. So what I do is very different. We train you in copywriting, blah 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 blah. So then I say, what do you see? What do you feel when you see this type of ads versus you see this type of ads? And let them go and save us. So precisely the fact you want to get a branded type of ads like this, and write this type of copy to actually entice people to buy. And that's actually what we teach in this framework. Then you go through your framework because they already agree that it's better.
Shit, this is super powerful. Oh my god.
So like, same as how you write copy, you want them to agree in how they think. Yeah, then you get them to buy. Yeah, so that's how you should think.
So it's like a series of beliefs that a person has to have before he makes the decision whether or not to buy. So like your question should lead someone to believe in a certain way, to think in a certain way, and that will eventually lead him slowly, step by step to the sale.
Your solution.
Yeah, which is your product is your solution.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, please but be ethical while using
Ethical, yes. Shit, okay, this is some high level shit. Yeah. Okay, Ken. Anyway, so it's been pretty awesome, super insightful convo for the past 1.5 hours. So let's say my audience want to find you on my YouTube channel, Facebook. Let's say they want to find out more about you. Where can they search up?
I mean, I'm LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere, but like just search out my name, Bryan Ang Ziwei. So ANGZHI-WEI. My Bryan is spelled with a Y, not an I. Find me on Facebook where I'm most active. And I do have a YouTube channel, but basically that's not like I don't post anything right now. I don't have time to post. But I will post maybe next year as well. So yeah, just add me as friend on Facebook itself. And yeah, if you need any questions or anything that you want, you can just hit me up on Messenger.
Awesome. Okay. All right. That's all. Thanks for coming to the podcast.
Me, man.
Okay. Let me stop the recording.
All right. I need to go eat lunch.